Hello, ladies and gentlemen of Airs LA. This is Ben Pomeroy. I'm here to give you a more in-depth video of the mobile app revisions that we made. First, I want to apologize for the error in submitting the app prior to getting everybody at Airs LA to sign off. That is 100% my fault. So I'm just going to jump into it now and show you where we are now and show you what we're doing next. So I currently have the Airs LA app open to the home page. It's the home page that was designed to match the revised web page that Joe Jerka recently finished. It's an all blue page with some explanation text, with the Airs LA logo, and with 3 buttons. The original video that I sent you was really merely to show everyone what the look of the app is and how it matches the web page. It wasn't really to give full functionality or description. Joe, I want to let you know I did get your email, and I've been buried because we've got a national program coming up, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just letting you know it wasn't malicious. And it definitely wasn't without consideration. It was just an oversight. So I'm here to rectify the situation. I've got Airs LA open, the blue background on the landing page. VoiceOver is on Airs LA.
Welcome to Airs LA.
Okay, I'm going to advance using the swiping. We'll change it so that it is actually announcing welcome to Airs LA.
To continue providing this service, we need your help. When we submit a grant application for funds, we must include a summary of our listeners. We provide that data in summary form only. We will never share your specific data with anyone. Click on the buttons below to help us with either data, a donation, or both. Enjoy Airs LA.
Okay, so that's the header of the landing page. When you swipe to the right to advance,
click the button below to go to Airs LA.
Okay, so the button down below here is goes to Airs LA.
Go to Airs LA.
Okay, we position this button at the very top of the page so that the user that is a consistent user doesn't have to scroll through multiple blocks of text and multiple buttons to get down to the useful part of the app. We positioned the Go to Airs LA button at the top. These buttons here were created programmatically using iOS. So we just digitally created the button and embedded the text. That forces VoiceOver to read what is in the button, and it'll say Go to Airs LA button.
Go to Airs LA button.
Okay, and I'll explain why that's important when we get into the audio portion of the app. And I'm going to open the app now. I'm going to click Goes to Airs LA. Again, we're at the home page.
Airs LA back button.
Okay, so now we're on the main Airs LA page.
Top 5 podcasts.
And I'm swiping through the main podcast.
Top 5 podcasts.
Or the main directory. I'm going to click on Top 5 podcasts.
Airs alert. Top 5 podcasts. Back button.
Okay.
Top 5 Oprah Magazine.
Okay, I'm going to select Oprah Magazine.
Search field. Oprah Magazine.
Okay, now I'm going to go down into and choose March 2016 entry for Oprah Magazine.
Alert. Oprah Magazine.
Okay, and then it auto plays. And then I'm going to push pause in the audio here.
BTN play.
Okay, so to give you a little background, each one of these buttons, when we developed this app originally, we wanted to have a look that we weren't able to do programmatically in the app in the same way. So we actually created these buttons using an Illustrator software and saved them as individual image files, like on the desktop. The way we named the buttons is BTN to let the programmer know that it's a button, and then the name of the button.
iPad BTN previous blue button.
Previous blue. Just there were at one point there were a couple of different colors. There was a blue and a gray button. So we just utilitarian in our naming convention, just so that we knew what these buttons were internally. Once they're in the app, we set it up so that we add an alternate tag where we can type anything we want. And instead of reading the file name, it reads the alternate tag. So what this should say is play button, or
iPad BTN next blue button,
or next button. So what you're hearing is, instead of the alternate tag that we assigned it, what you're hearing
BTN
is
play
what
button.
the file name is. Like if you have an image on your desktop and you name it, Dad's birthday, it's doing that. It's reading the file name that we assigned to it instead of the alternate tag. I don't know why that happened, why the change happened. I think it might have happened in a later version of iOS, and we didn't know that. It certainly wasn't there when we first launched the app. So I'm thinking that must have been what happened. So when we developed this and we were making the changes in the last few weeks, because we didn't do any work or any changes on the playback portion of the app, I didn't think to do a full-on testing all the way down to the fundamentals of the app. We just, we made the changes and we tested the things that we changed, and this stuff happened, I believe, in the new version of iOS, this change, and so I didn't catch it, and that's my fault. But I can tell you that it was definitely not. It was not due to that I was disregarding or without consideration of the end user, because that's just not how I am. So anyway, all of these are being redone.
BTN previous blue.
We're changing the names of each of these so that when they're announced
BTN
correctly.
play button.
And this is the audio page, and everything works as normal here on the audio page. But I wanted to explain to you what happened with the buttons.
Oprah
And
magazine.
I'm going to back
Oprah
out
magazine.
using the back buttons. I'm going to back
Top
all the
five
way
button.
out
Top five.
to
Airs
the
alert. Back
to
button.
the using the back button
Airs LA.
all the way out to the
Podcast
landing
back
page.
button. Back button. Go
Okay,
to
now
Airs LA.
now we've landed back on the home page, and it lands right on the Go to Airs LA button. But if you swipe down again, we've got the other options for the user that they can use that are exactly like what's happening on the website. So I'm going to swipe down to the next button.
To help, just select the Help Us with Data button below to fill out a short form.
Okay, so user can
Help us with data.
allow us to collect their data from them. So I'm going to open this up, double tap.
Help it. Back button.
Okay, this opens what's called a UI web view, which is like a little browser that pops up within the app. So we haven't left the app at all, but it is displaying the same form that the
Please
user.
help Ursula obtain funding by filling in the following form and clicking submit.
This is a
Heading
form
level
that Joe Yurka developed, and it's the same exact web input that you used on the website in order to
Email address. Text field.
capture the user's
Double tap to edit.
demographic information.
Text
So you can
field.
swipe down
Gender.
using normal swiping conventions,
Pop-up
left to right
ethnicity.
to go forward, right to left to go back.
Gender. Text.
and the
text. Email. Please help our.
and it works perfectly with VoiceOver.
Text field.
So I'm going to go. I'm going to back out, go back to the home page, back to the landing page, and now we're going to go down to the third button.
If you or someone you know would like to help directly with a credit card donation, click on the button below to do so.
Okay. So now I'm going to swipe to go down to the donate to Airs LA via PayPal.
Donate via PayPal button.
Okay, so these buttons were created programmatically. So these are just created using tools in iOS instead of creating a button and then importing it into iOS and having it read the button. So by default, these just read whatever the text is in the app. I mean, whatever the text is in the button, it reads that aloud and then appends the word button at the end because it knows that's what the function is. So it's a different methodology from how we did the layout in the playback screen, and also why we didn't even think to check deeper in the app to see if something had changed. So you can see that that's it's reading the app, the button exactly as it should. I'm going to tap it again.
Donate via PayPal.
Okay.
Button.
I'm going to double tap that to select. This allows somebody to make a donation to Airs LA via PayPal using your Airs LA PayPal web page. So when I double tap,
Donate.
what's happening is it opens up a actual
Safari.
browser. So it goes out to
Audio
Safari and allows allows the user to make a donation through Safari. That is something that is mandated by Apple, that we don't use the internal UI web view, which is the dumbed down web browser that appears within an app. If we're going to do anything financial at all by way of the app, we have to do it. We have to actually execute it through a actual browser outside of the app. I don't exactly know why that is, but it is. It's the way it is with Apple. So that's what's happened here. We're now looking at a browser, and it's the mobile version of the donation page for Airs LA, and the user can either pay with PayPal or directly with a credit card. In the upper left-hand corner in the header, there's a back
button. Status bar item.
In the status bar, actually
Swipe down
up
with 3 fingers to reveal the notification center.
at the top
Swipe
of the
up with
page,
3 fingers to reveal the control center. Double tap
there's
to
a
scroll to
button
top.
in the header where the time is and the battery and all that. It's a little mini back button that allows you to go from the browser back into the app that we were just in. So in this case, Airs LA. So I'm gonna double tap that. We're gonna go right back to the homepage of Airs LA after the user has submitted their donation.
Back to Airs LA. Airs LA. Welcome. Enjoy your Airs LA experience.
Okay, so that is the experience using VoiceOver. The two takeaways from this are that the header where it says Airsla, there needs to be a hyphen added so that it says Airs LA. I might want to also let
Help us with data.
also
Enjoy
let
your
Joe
Airs LA
Durkin know
experience.
that he should change that in the data page. Because VoiceOver is pronouncing it Airsla instead of Airs LA. So where it says Airsla, I'm going to add a hyphen so it is actually pronouncing Airs LA, both in the header and the footer. And we will also get the issues with the mislabeled buttons corrected. And I will make another video for everyone to make sure that everybody has bought off on this before we resubmit to the App Store. Again, I truly apologize for this problem. It really wasn't a lack of consideration. It was just a function of time, and we overlooked the element of the buttons only because it just wasn't something we would have dawned on us to test, because it wasn't part of the work that we were doing. We didn't change anything, so I do apologize. I take responsibility for that, and I will fix it. So I hope this is okay. And if you have any questions or want any more information, please call me directly on my cell phone. It's 310-570-0763. And again, I will get this taken care of as quickly as possible. Thank you.